Okay, we will bring this meeting to order, organizational meeting for October the 24th. Are there any additions or deletions from the agenda? Maybe we can delete 3.1, the council seating order, since we've already done that. Okay. Anybody want to change?
Oh, there?
Come sit up here if you want, Director Kennedy. That's fine.
Can we change halfway through, or?
Why are you asking?
I don't know. I think look who's beside me, right here on this side.
Halfway through the meeting or halfway through the year?
Yeah, halfway through the year.
Anyway, we will move to 3.2, council member appointments on boards and committees. So we have we're going to put some alternates on committees where we already have 2 councillors, just in case somebody's not available. So we will look at the Community Economic Development Advisory Group. Who would like to be an alternate on there? We can just have some discussion. We meet once every two months, 3 months. It's 5 o'clock meeting, usually lasts 2 hours. Councillor Maceros? I'd like to be an alternate on that. Okay. I guess we need a motion for these, do we? Yes, we do. Let's get the names first and then we'll go through the motions, okay? So number 2 is the MDP Advisory Committee. What time are those meetings, Director Jenkins? Do you know?
They haven't.
I know they haven't.
They haven't met yet.
Yeah.
I believe they're going to. I didn't think they were going to be evening meetings, but I can.
You didn't think?
I didn't think.
Okay.
I can find out.
Okay, well, let's move on to number 3, Policing and Safe Community Committee. Who would like to be an alternate for that? I believe those are 5 o'clock meetings as well, correct?
Yeah, I would consider putting my name out for that, and
okay.
The reason was that I served about 5 months, 6 months after being trained, and then wasn't.
We expelled you, yeah. Is that okay, Councillor Heistad? Okay.
I'll accept.
And, okay, so Megan, do you, Director Jenkins, do you have an idea, time on the...
I'm thinking, I know that I just sent Gordon a text.
Well, we'll start with the other motions first, and then maybe he will text you in the meantime. So have somebody make the first motion, and that name is Councillor Maceros.
I'd so move, Mayor Barclay, that Cindy Maceros, Councillor Maceros, is appointed as an alternate on the Community Economic Development Advisory Group.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? All right, then we will go to number 3, and that is Councillor Bates.
I'll make a motion that Councillor Kevin Bates appointed as an alternate on the Policing and Safe Community Committee. Blah blah blah.
Okay, thank you. All
Thanks.
in favor? And then number 4.
Mayor Barclay, I would move that Councillor Cindy Maceros be appointed to the Transportation Standing Committee.
Okay, all in favor? And then, oh, sorry, discussion?
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. Can I have some information about the time commitment on that committee? It'll be the 3rd meeting during the work day.
Well, maybe just have Director Jenkins can give you some background on that.
So yeah, Transportation Committee, typically we have met in the past Thursdays in the afternoon. Meetings are as needed. So typically every 2 to 3 months is when is what we've averaged for meetings.
Okay, and
yeah.
what do you think is going to happen with some of the changes that are occurring right now? Do you think that's going to increase in?
We may end up meeting like a bit more frequently during the next 6 months, but probably beyond that it will even be less. than what it has been.
So more frequently, like
Monthly would be the max, I would think. Like we have a meeting scheduled for November. I wouldn't think we would meet again until the new year after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can incorporate that. Yeah.
And you do have an alternate as well. So if you can't make it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
So MDP meetings, yes, are planned to be a 5 p.m. meeting. They don't have a standing day at this point.
Okay, so we have a motion for Councillor Maceros to be appointed to the Transportation Standing Committee. All in favor? And then we'll go to number 5 with Councillor Dunham.
I'll move that Councillor Dale Dunham is appointed as an alternate on the Transportation Standing Committee.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? And then we'll go back to number 2. Who would like to be on MDP for a 5 o'clock meeting?
I'll let my name stand there, Margaret.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Harrison. All in favor? Okay, and just a reminder, if alternates can't go, always reach out to me, and I will fill in if I can. So, okay. And then do we need a, do you want a motion for all the committees, like a motion that the rest of the committees are staying as is?
Yes, please.
Okay, so just have a motion that the rest of the committees are staying as they have been for the previous year.
I'll make that motion, Mayor Barkley.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Wing. Any further discussion about that? Everybody's okay? Okay, all in favor? Great, thank you. So now we will have a motion to go in camera.
Mayor Barkley, I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Dunham. All in favor? Okay. And we'll just go over the Okay, so we will go into 3. So we'll go into 3.4 and the appointments to our boards and committees. Could I please have someone make the first motion? Dan Merkley.
Mayor Barkley, I would move that council appoint Dan Merkley to the Community Services Standing Committee for a 2-year term ending October 21st, 2024.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
do have one question.
Okay.
So the question I have, seeing as we're kind of short on that committee, even though it's not their responsibility at all, have we appealed to the people that left to also fan out in the community? And because of their extensive experience, they could tell all kinds of people what it's about, and just as a favor to us. That's just a thought. That shouldn't stop the motion, it's just a comment.
Okay, all in favor of the motion? Okay, and then the second motion, that will be appointing Alicia Fox.
Mayor Barkley, I'll make the motion that council appoints Alicia Fox to the Economic Development Advisory Group for a 2-year term ending October 21st, 2024.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, and then the next one will be Victoria Stewart.
Your Worship, I'll move that we appoint Victoria Stewart to the FCSS Advisory Board for a 2-year term ending October 21st, 2024.
Perfect, thank you. All in favor? And then the last one is Karina Lucas to the Library Board. Councillor Hystad.
Yeah, the council appoints Karina Lucas to the Innisfail Municipal Library Board for a 3-year term ending October 20th, 2025.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Great. Okay, and then we'll just have a motion to adjourn this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a couple of items. Mayor Barkley, if we could get a motion for the agenda, please.
See, I always forget something.
That's okay.
Okay,
I'll make that motion, Mayor Barkley.
thank you. All in favor?
And then also 3.3 on the agenda, Mayor Barkley, just, it's not a caption all. It's kind of an addition to the org meeting. The org meeting happens once a year as per the MGA, but I asked Vanessa just to put on the agenda just a training opportunity, and you can do this anytime, but budget time too, but just in reference to a training opportunity that administration is presenting to you is an opportunity to learn more about public hearings, the role of MPC, SDAB, and council, just regarding planning development. Last term council received training from our legal counsel and brought in legal counsel for, I think it was a good part of a day. And I think we had MPC present too. And we could put the SDAB, but it's a collective of planning and development, your roles and responsibilities, and even the function of public hearings. So with your approval and not of approval, we can set that up likely in the first quarter of 2023, but due to the scheduling of our legal counsel, it's probably best to start coordinating that now. And if there's anything else of interest, you can talk about that moving into budget. But I just want to bring that to your attention immediately. If you wish so, I'd have you just make a motion to that regard.
Okay. So are you interested in having Kelsey come in and do some training? And
Yeah, I think I'll make the motion. Thanks.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you. Then we will have a motion to adjourn this meeting, please.
I'll move that we adjourn this meeting.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Maceros. All in favor? Right, thank you.
You're going to have to be quick because I'm going to assume that goes with this seat here.
Okay, and we will go into our regular council meeting for October the 24th, and we'll begin with a land acknowledgement. The town of Innisfail acknowledges that we are meeting on Treaty 7 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Kainai, Piikani, and Siksika, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and Stoney Nakoda First Nation. We acknowledge that this territory is home to the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3 within the historical Northwest Métis homeland. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have lived in and cared for these lands for generations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We make this acknowledgement as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on. Then we will move to 2.1, swearing in of a new deputy mayor today, so I'll ask Councillor Maceras to come forward and we will do this. Do you want me to come over there? Raise your right hand. Put your hand on. No. So I, Cindy Maceras,
I, Cindy Maceras,
do swear
that
I will diligently,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law the office of deputy mayor for the town of Innisfail.
for the town of Innisfail.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Get this done afterwards.
Send me home.
So we'll go to 3.1. Any additions or deletions? Okay, and I'll please have someone adopt the agenda.
Mayor Barkley also move.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Dunham. All in favor? And we'll just review the regular council meeting minutes of October the 11th.
Your Worship, I'll move those minutes.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Bates. All in favor? Okay, and we'll review the minutes for the agenda and priorities meeting of October the 17th. And I'll have somebody make a motion to accept those, please.
I'd so move, Mayor Barkley, that we accept the minutes for.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? And we will go to 5.1, the CAO report.
Thanks, Mayor Barkley. Just the items to bring to council's attention. So the preparation for the transition accelerator training is coming into play. We're hoping for details, some materials to come your way electronically, hopefully by the end of the week. And again, training is November 3rd and 4th, half day between 12 and 3 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday. In support of Councilor Maceras, attended a virtual meeting with the board, executive, and administrations of PCPS, the Parkland Community Planning Services, just regarding the recent announcement of resignation from the executive director, Craig Teal. The board is working on at the structure, but also looking to replace Mr. Teal. And City of Lacombe is helping with that process. I think it's important to have a conversation or inform council. PCPS is a regional service, mainly utilized by the smaller municipalities, the larger ones being Lacombe, Olds up till recently, Innisfail, Rocky Mountain House. And our service requirement of PCPS has lessened due to the leadership of our director and manager Shaw. So we do require some work with them. They are a subdivision authority. But we'll be kind of doing a larger look at what if PCPS, if they do something, if they move into non-existence, then we'll make sure those services are covered. But until the organization is basically under review, because Mr. Teal was significant in his role in maintaining the structure together for serving smaller communities. So certainly put it to any questions if council has, or if Megan has anything to add, but generally they're reviewing that organization and service. As you know, administration is fully involved with budget presentations. The team here is working with their respective teams, looking to deliberate as per the schedule that you set last week. Administration has had some meetings with local business, but also developers regarding some interest in both industrial and residential development, and those conversations will be held more specifically in camera just due to the sensitivity of those discussions. I'll let Mayor Barkley speak at some point, likely, just regarding the meeting with HS regarding the ambulance bay. Administration has been working with Discovery Wildlife Park regarding marketing and transportation of seniors. We also met recently regarding an approach restructuring, but that's going to move into likely next year just due to timing. But we're making sure that that new amenity is maximized, and we're supporting that activity as best we can. Right now is the staff annual performance plan process, sort of middle of that, but also the health and safety internal audit is about to roll out as of end of this week into next week, and then those results will be shared with council based on the success and our achievement of certificate of recognition. I just took the liberty to add a little bit more detail to the Remora relationship. Council did make a motion back about a month, September 19th actually, to engage retaining Remora Ventures to explore and develop revenue options for the community in the amount of $26,000. And I did attach the agreement that we're entering into with Remora, but I just want to make sure the conversations you had outside of the chambers is lining up with the conversations you've had in the chambers with a little bit more detail, of course transparency back into the community. So I'm not looking for a formal motion for that agreement so much as just that you've seen this agreement and accept it as information. Other than that, if the council has any questions regarding operations, administrations, or anything on this report, I'd be happy to answer your questions.
All right, thank you, CEO Becker. Does anyone have any questions about anything? Councillor Bates?
Yeah, I do have one on the detail of Remora. There's 4 service events outlined and time required, and I'm just curious because some of them say specific. Number 1, I don't see specifically the 2 days who it involves. Number 2, I saw administration and council 1 day. Number 3, I didn't see who 2 days, and then number 4 I think says specific admin for 8 days. Is that the right? So is council involved in number 2, or is it involved in 1 and 3 as well, or not, and not involved in 4? I just want to know which ones we're involved in.
At this point, my understanding is that council would be involved in that second session. We're working on scheduling the first session with administration, then include council, and then we'll be able to kind of build out how we want that conversation to go for future sessions.
Okay. So there's a total of 12 days that we're committing admin and 1 day of both. That's the summary.
Mayor Barkley, Councillor Bates, as for the director, we're about to meet with them administratively to give more context of the proposal and the agreement. Those will be flushed out as we engage now that council's given that directive.
So we can consider it an estimate at this point.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? I'll please have someone make the first motion that we receive Remora Ventures as a proposal as information.
Mayor Barkley, I would move that council receive the Remora Ventures engagement proposal as information.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Wing. All in favor? And then the second motion.
Mayor Barkley, I'll move that council approves the Chief Administrative Officer report dated October 24th, 2022 as information.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Maceros. Any questions? No? Okay, all in favor? Great. Okay, and we'll move into 5.2, the council action control. Nobody has any questions about this, I will ask somebody make a motion that we accept it as information, please.
I would so move, Mayor Barkley, that we accept the council action report as information.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Harrison. And all in favor? Great, thank you. And we will move into 6.1 with Director Vickers and the ATCO franchise agreement.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. So we are bringing the 2023 ATCO gas franchise fee up for discussion before council today. Now, I do know that previously council had asked that it be brought in after budget so that we can incorporate any changes into the budget. However, our ATCO franchise agreement, the 10-year agreement, was up this December, so we do have to have a renewal completed. And we do have to indicate our percentage inside this renewal. So while this year we are bringing it earlier, next year we'll go back and bring it after the budget process has been completed. Okay, so that's what we are looking for the ATCO gas franchise fee to remain the same at 27%. So the current franchise fee is at 27% now, and it was forecasted to generate just over $726,000 for 2022. And that is going to increase to just over $787,000 by leaving it the same at 27%, which is an increase of just under $61,000. If we were to increase it by 1%, each percent gives us $29,000. So at this point, administration is recommending that we leave it the same for this year. And then once this goes, then we can start to take our next steps in the renewal process as well.
Okay, thank you, Director Vickers. Could I please have someone make the motion?
I would make that motion, Your Worship, that we keep it the same.
Any discussion?
I just have a question, Mayor Barclay. Thank you through to Director Vickers. What accounts for the $60,939 increase?
Absolutely, Mayor Barclay, through to Councillor Mazzaro. So each year, ATCO sends us a letter which they estimate what their tariff revenue is going to be for the next year, and then we take our percentage and do the calculation, and that's how we get it. So they've indicated that their tariff revenue will be going up next year, therefore our franchise fee also will go up.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion, Councillor Harrison.
Oh, thank you, through to Director Vickers. I just need clarification on their tariff increase. Is that the cost of gas per gigajoule? Is that the tariff increase?
Mayor Barclay, through to Councillor Harrison. So that likely would be the other charges that would be on the bill, right? So not the gas charges. But I can double check on that and send that out to an email if you'd like to, Council. Just double check on that.
Yeah, if you would. So that could be distribution, administration.
Or the cost of gas, yeah.
Cost
or all of it.
Or all the above. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. And part of my reason for moving that we keep it the same is looking at our 27% versus the other communities. I think we're in vogue there. As everyone knows, I usually balk at raising these things, but yeah, I'm comfortable leaving it at the same. I look forward to the day we ever lower one, but thank you.
Everybody good? Okay, well, we have a motion to leave the franchise fee the same at 27%. All in favor? All right, carried. And we will move into community services with Director Jenkins, 7.1, and the Southwest Industrial Park lot pricing.
Thank you, Mayor Barclay. We're looking for a motion from council to address the lot pricing within the industrial park, which is set to expire at the end of October. So administration was requesting to end introductory sale pricing of $160,000 an acre, which was approved to October 31st. We're asking to extend it to December 31st with the lot price increasing to $175,000 per acre effective January 1st. we think that the increase, which represents about a $25,000 per acre increase, 15,000 of direct price increase, and then the inclusion of the offsite levy, which we had rolled into the purchase price as sort of that introductory rate. So we had originally thought we would make it effective November 1st, but I think by extending it to December 31st, it gives some of the current interest that we have in the properties the opportunity to finalize agreements with some lead time, knowing that the price is going to change. We do have sort of interest from 4 parties that we've been actively dealing with, so gives them some time to make their decisions before there's any price changes. And yeah, servicing is underway. So yeah, just looking for that motion to increase effective January 1st.
Okay, thank you, Director Jenkins. Could I please have someone make the recommended motion? Councillor Wing.
Mayor Barkley, I would move that council set the price of land for sale within the Southwest Industrial Park at $175,000 an acre effective January 1st, 2023.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions, comments? Councillor Hystad?
Yeah, Your Worship, to Director Jenkins, I was just curious how many, you know, the opportunity talking to businesses or individuals that are interested in our lots recently. Is there any uptick or?
I wouldn't say there's been an increase. We've had sort of these 4 solid leads we've been working with for a number of weeks. But yeah, I wouldn't say that we get a ton of inquiries on it.
Thanks.
Councillor Bates?
Yes, also through to Director. I lost it off that screen. There was, almost need to bring it up on my own here. What we had up there with the offsite levy, that was what I was going to comment on. There's a mention that that the offsite levy reflects the costs. Could you explain that a little bit? Because it certainly doesn't pay for all the costs.
No, so offsite levies are the charges we have built into an offsite levy bylaw that are charges we collect from developers that go towards larger projects that benefit sort of the community as a whole. So they go to large scale water, wastewater, roads projects. So as the town acting as the developer here, we can pass those costs along to the purchaser. But during that introductory time period, we were including the offsite levy in the purchase price. Now it will be the purchase price, and then the developer will have to pay that when they apply for their development permit.
Thank you. I just thought this was a great idea, a great opportunity to see the offset levy. Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, we have a motion. Yep, and everybody in favor? Okay, great. Carried unanimously. Thank you. And we will move on to 7.2, request for decision on a road closure with Director Jenkins.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Barkley. So looking for council motion for first reading and the scheduling of a public hearing for bylaw 1696-2022, being a road closure bylaw to close a portion of 52nd Street Close. So the closure of this portion of road is necessary to facilitate the lease of lands currently being utilized by the adjacent property owner for the parking of transport vehicles. This portion of road has never been utilized for vehicular transport, and it has been, we brought it to council a few weeks ago just to sort of discuss whether there were any major concerns on that front. So with a road closure bylaw, essentially, once the piece of roadway is closed, that piece will become a titled parcel, which that can then be formally leased to another party, becomes a titled parcel in the name of the town as opposed to a road that is technically owned by the province. So the road closure process is basically we prepare and grant first reading to this bylaw. We then will publish a notice in the local newspaper. We'll send notifications to adjacent landowners, as well as utility companies and other referral agencies. Town council hosts a public hearing to hear any presentations or any comments that we receive from those referrals. We then forward any comments along with the bylaw to the Minister of Transportation, where it needs to be signed off. Once that signature is received, it can then come back to council for second and third reading. Again, essentially because roads within the town are ultimately under the jurisdiction of the province as opposed to the town. So it is a bit of a process that's well laid out within the MGA, but at this point, that's where we are.
Okay, thank you, Director Jenkins. I'll have somebody make the first motion, please.
Mayor Barkley, I'll move that council gives first reading to bylaw number 1696-2022.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions about anything Councillor Macon presented, Councillor Director Jenkins presented?
I do, Director Jenkins. Would you just clarify the picture? Because there was reference made to the red, but the actual closure is the green, is it not?
No, so on that picture is the red kind of shaded box.
Right.
Yeah.
But the actual closure is the entire road that is green below it?
No.
Okay, is it just the 10 meters of the red then?
It's just that 10 meter, or that red box where the trucks are parked. If you, Kara, if you scroll down to the bylaw that has that map, you can see, so the current road right-of-way fans out as it goes towards the railway.
So it's the 10.23 meters?
Yeah, and then that hatched area.
I just didn't think it was clear, so that's why
okay.
I brought the question up.
Yeah.
So you're closing that 10 meters. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, all in favor? All right, unanimous, thank you. And then we'll have someone make a second motion, please, to set the public hearing.
I move the council sets Monday, November 28th, 2022 at 3 p.m. in council chambers for the public hearing for bylaw number 1696-2022.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, unanimous, thank you. And next we'll go to 7.3. So I'd like to welcome our manager of FCSS, Kristen McKenzie, to give a presentation about Family Violence Month. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor Barkley. So I am just here today to provide council with a little bit more information regarding November as Family Violence Prevention Month, with the recommendation that council proclaim November as Family Violence Prevention Month here in Innisfail. So just a little bit of background. Family Violence Prevention Month started in 1986 in the town of Hinton. It launched Alberta's very first family violence education and prevention campaign. This led to expanding social supports and services for individuals and families in the areas of prevention, protection, and rehabilitation. This inspired the Alberta legislature to recognize every November as Family Violence Prevention Month in Alberta. Today, that legacy continues. Unfortunately, Alberta has the third highest rate of self-reported spousal violence among Canadian provinces. So November is a time for us to increase awareness of the warning signs of family violence, as well as the resources and supports available, so we can work together to end family violence and build healthier relationships in our communities. What that looks like here in the town of Innisfail. Innisfail first declared November as Family Violence Prevention Month in 2017. The municipality continues to remain engaged with our Regional Vision for Nonviolence Coalition, which is comprised of 16 other regional communities, with the acknowledgement of the impact that family violence continues to have on our residents and communities. In addition to this proclamation, as far as community awareness that we are undertaking, we are hosting the 8th Annual Regional Vision for Nonviolence Conference at the Library and Learning Center on Friday, November 4th. We are lighting the town of Innisfail municipal offices with purple lights, which is the color of family violence prevention. We are working alongside community partners to support conversations and programming throughout the month around healthy relationships. We have some great community members who are very actively involved, and we are just in the process of finalizing what that is going to look like for us in the month of November. And then sharing Family Violence Prevention Month awareness resources on municipal social media through the Alberta government channels.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I please have someone make the motion to proclaim November as Family Violence Prevention Month? Councillor Hystad.
That council proclaims November as Family Violence Month.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Prevention. Prevention Month. Sorry. Yeah. First time at the mic. Thanks.
I have a couple through to Director Chris. Yeah, is there any place in town where you can buy purple light bulbs?
I'm not necessarily aware of in town directly. I do know that through Central Alberta Seroptimus, you can purchase purple lights, of which one of our municipal staff is a very active member of. So if that is something that we are interested in exploring individually, as far as strings of purple lights, we have purchased them for outside of the municipal office. Not aware of them locally per se, but
I think it's a great idea, and I would certainly like to put them in my outside lights on my house. And if they are available, maybe there's some communication to our residents that if you'd like to buy a light bulb, and the proceeds go towards the violence month.
So they will actually be for sale at our conference that we are hosting on November 4th. The Central Alberta Seroptimus Society is coming to provide that opportunity, but we can absolutely put that out to the community as a larger whole as well.
I think it'd be a great idea. Just one third one is, are these bulbs or are they strings of lights?
So we have purchased strings of lights, but to the best of my knowledge, the Seroptimus is selling purple light bulbs, like single
great.
bulbs.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And also a fourth question is there a society in Innisfail that actually leads this up? Is there somebody that...
Yes, so the community members that I was speaking of earlier have just very recently started a society, I believe it is Innisfail Stand Against Violence. They just hosted the march back in October, and they are the two individuals that I have reached out to I don't want to step on any toes as we move forward with programming, and they have some great reach and capacity and are great community champions, and I want to make sure that we are using that to the best of our ability.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Councillor Hystad?
Yeah, no, I appreciate Councillor Harrison's questions about the lights, and it's important. I think it's, if any way we can communicate that out through Johnny and the rest of the committee, that'd be great. So, no, appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Manager McKenzie. And, you know, if there's anything, I know we've been invited to the event, and looking forward to going and learning and listening. And there's other opportunities through the month. Please keep us apprised, because we're very much here to support the initiative. So thank you very much. Anyway, we have a motion, so I'll just, everybody in favor? Did I do that already? Okay, and we will move on to correspondence and information. So I just want to bring up number 11, Innisfail Senior Drop-In Society. They have sent a request that we give them a letter of support. They're applying for a Horizons grant, using those funds to replace chairs at the Lundgren Center. So I would I will make a motion that we provide a letter of support to the Innisfail Senior Society for this application. Anybody have any questions about it? Okay, all in favor? Carried unanimously. Can you just go back to the list again, Kara? Thank you. Okay, and I'll just have somebody make a motion then to accept this as information correspondence.
I'll move that we accept this as information. Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. And we'll move to council reports, starting with Councillor Hystad.
Okay. What do I talk about? Policing committee. We had a really good meeting. Todd had mentioned earlier today when we had lunch. We had a really good meeting. It's outside of council chambers. We had it at the fire hall, and it was kind of cool to see how the chair was much more relaxed doing the meeting rather than sitting up here and being very formal. I thought it was a very productive meeting, and we're getting ready for the November 15th. We have our town hall with the RCMP, as well as we will have a representative. I'm going to look at CAO Becker from I think it's the Police Association regarding Alberta policing. And we have also invited somebody from the government who may want to talk about the direction of our provincial government and having a provincial police force so that we're being transparent all around. And but it was a really good meeting. I think one of the highlights for myself was I just want to Constable. Is it Constable Ian? Sergeant. Oh man, Sergeant Ian. He's actually it's really he's been a really good addition to our RCMP force. I think that he provides a different lens than Staff Sergeant Matichuk, and it's not that no criticism, but I thought it was a really well-run meeting, and also with manager Fire and Protective Services Gary Leith. It was a very good meeting. One of the highlights as well is from that meeting is we are looking at maybe doing some type of campaign where in the community we're advising our citizens to call in issues that are going on with the RCMP. I think that will be great, as well as getting ready for a strategy in the future. As to anything else, I also have the village. There's an upcoming event October 29th. It's called the Hocus Pocus. It's a tea that should be highlighted. I did talk to Anna briefly today on the phone, and one of the questions that she had to me, I was corresponding with CAO Becker, was when would we like to have her come in and talk about some of those, some of the could be potential asks or needs that they may have. So.
Mayor Barkley, Councillor Heiss said, I think sooner the better. I think we have a A&P coming this Monday. If the society's ready to come in, that'd be great. If not, probably the next council meetings, but any of the council meetings would work.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor Barkley. Nothing formal. I had no committee meetings this past week. However, I spent a lot of time, or some time, talking to residents within the community about our upcoming budget deliberations, explaining the whole process to them, because they have a million asks, and I needed to explain that we'll certainly table it, but there are no guarantees when it comes to the budget requirements. So spent a lot of time just out in the community talking to people, and have gained some really good ideas about how we go forth with our projects within the budget. And of course they'll be tabled here at the end of November, and they'll come up against other projects that are in the community. So we'll see where everything shakes out. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor Maceros.
Thank you, Mayor Barkley. I don't have too much to report this week. I had to miss the Policing and Safe Communities Committee meeting, and thank you, Jason, for that excellent report. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor Dunham.
Thank you, Mayor Barkley. Nothing formal for me. Other than the committees that I sit on met last week.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Wing.
Thanks, Mayor Barkley. Yeah, so last week, the Chamber of Commerce October board meeting was held last Monday evening, and hoping that we'll have a decision on our executive director this week. The library board met last Tuesday for their October meeting as well, so they've been busy with budget and getting things ready for their new service plan, so that'll be coming forward in the upcoming weeks. Just as an aside, I was invited last Friday to a meeting with former Board of Governor chairs at Red Deer Polytechnic last Friday. So I was the board chair from 2008 to 2011. So this was the first meeting of its kind. We have a new president at the Red Deer Polytechnic who used to be at Stuart Cullum, who was the president of Olds College. I raise it because I was so intrigued by the discussion, not only the evolution of Red Deer College as it emerges into the Polytechnic, but also the conversations around regional economic development, and certainly the role that the Polytechnic feels that it plays, the tables that the Polytechnic would like to be at relative to growth and development within the region. Stuart's solidly committed to the region's communities and learners, and he also indicated that he is very much aware of the conversations that we've been having with Red Deer Polytechnic. So he's on the ground running, and I think he's a great addition to the institution. I think he'll be great for the entire region. I just have a quick question. Tomorrow we have a walk with the mayors in Penhold. Is that I haven't received any information other than the calendar invite, but is that an outdoor event or an indoor event, or?
It's indoor at the multiplex.
At the multiplex. Okay, then. Thanks so much.
You'll be coming then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's coming anyways.
I'm just kidding.
Long underwear.
Thank you, Councillor Wing. Councillor Bates.
Yeah, I didn't really have any council things last week. I did attend one of the two Legion-sponsored seniors dinners, and it was just an excellent event that they put on, and got a chance to view the new I'll call it pipe band, because I'd never seen 16 of them before, and I understand a couple were missing, and so it was a great event. On Friday I had 2 wisdom teeth removed, and I've been reflecting on that since, whether or not that makes a change, either positive or negative, but the only thing I've come up with is I think if you're wise, you'll have them out when you're younger. I do plan to attend the Hydrogen 101 this Wednesday, and hopefully drop in on the ladies' auxiliary celebration on Friday. That's it.
Well, you had your wisdom teeth out, but you still have your half brain sitting there, so things are okay, right? Okay, so this past week I was in Edmonton on Wednesday at the Economic Developers Association dinner. The event was sold out. There was lots of deputy ministers, assistant deputy ministers, Invest Alberta and Innovates Alberta, EDOs, the elected officials and business people were there. Looking forward to having more dialogue with many of the connections that were made that evening, and continuing to promote the community. I spoke with CEO Becker this morning about a couple of ideas that came out of that evening. So they are also, so many of these people are such great fits with the Innisfail Energy Hub as well. So that was an exciting evening to talk about Innisfail and all the great things that are going on here. Then CEO Becker mentioned we did meet with HS officials this past week. Suzanne Telford, who's the site manager at the Innisfail Healthcare Centre. We met with her and some other folks from HS. I'm certainly grateful that they agreed to meet with us, and were very welcoming. They certainly gave us more insight into the ambulance bay situation. They're going to have some more dialogue with the hospital auxiliary, because I think there's been a little misunderstanding about how procurement services work through Alberta Health Services. There's actually not been an RFP been issued. It was more of a a contractor they use quite a bit came by and took a look and said, oh, it could be this. So we've kind of suggested to try and get that sorted out a little bit, so that we're not raising funds or funds are being raised in the community, and then the project maybe 2 or 3 times more than what they actually thought in the first place. So, you know, we also reiterated to them as well, like we're here to be partners with them, and you know, they're getting a little squeeze for space up there in some of their areas, and you know, CEO Becker was certainly more than willing to, you know, meet if there's any opportunity, if they're looking for other space in Innisfail to move some of the services out of that facility, going forward, doing some planning that, like I said, we're certainly here to meet with, to help them and support them, and it's pretty challenging times for them, needless to say, so we're looking forward to having more dialogue in the future around this. Then Friday, I was at the South Red Deer Regional Wastewater Commission meeting. So the Innisfail Emergency Storage Pond has now been scheduled for Q2 of 2023. Proposed capacity on that is 11,500 cubic meters, so roughly 4 to 5 days of storage. There's also some discussions that day about maybe digging a little deeper than what they planned to, and trying to add another 2,000 or 3,000 cubes of capacity, but they'll certainly be working with Director Kennedy on that. Budget proposed increase that will be sent to the municipalities is a 5.2%. The rate is currently $2.48 per cube, proposed to increase to $2.61. Currently, SRD is unsure of the City of Red Deer increase, but early indications are it could be 5.5% to 6%. So the cost to the Commission for Red Deer to receive that wastewater treated actually makes up 2/3 of our cost on this service. The rate is being determined by using a 5-year moving average. So 2022 was a record year for volume due to the June-July rains. The forecast for 2023 is 3.3 million cubic meters. The chemical costs will increase substantially. SRD has a contract for bioxide, which is expiring. That rate was at $1.15 per liter. The new terms are probably going to be more like $1.55, and the bioxide is used to tamp down the smell of the H2S. It's actually mined in Norway and then shipped to Oregon for processing, and I think there's only one supplier for that chemical. Innisfail's 5-year average volume is 903,962 cubic meters. The inflow and infiltration is approximately 29% of the total volume. Innisfail I&I has increased by 32.4% in Q2 of this year and 30.6% in Q3 over the 5-year historical average. And are you looking at me going, that's the report I got, okay? So, I think overall that, so about 7.9% above what SRD's budgeted volume was going to be is what this year, they think this year will turn out at around 729,000 cubes as of the end of September. So I mentioned to CEO Becker today in the operating agreement, there's an opportunity every January 1st, there's an opportunity to adjust the rate that municipalities are charging out for the operations people. There's a CPI adjustment that can be made every January 1st, and apparently Penhold has been the only community that has done that, so it might be something for us to keep our eye on, and they're increasing the rate for the deputy supervisor up to $75 per hour from $60. So that's that report. Anybody have any questions about that stuff? No? Councillor Hystad looks intrigued or something.
No, the reality is it's a lot more money. Like with those numbers that you've given us, a lot to chew on. As to those rates and stuff, I think it's good information for us to be aware of that and the cost to operate. It's going to be an interesting budget year. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
thanks.
That's for sure. Director Jenkins. Okay, got just one more thing. So the Cape annual general meeting is coming up in November 23rd, and there's some board openings. So I would think I'm going to put my name forward for a board member, but I need a council resolution to be able to do that because it has to go in the nomination package. And
I would would make that motion.
Thank you,
I think
Councillor.
I think it's really important that we be at that table, and I think you will do a great job at that. So, good job.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Okay, and then we'll let Director Jenkins have something.
I just wanted to give council an update in case they've noticed the pace van sitting in front of 4-lane Ford for the last few days, that it is currently broken down with quite a large repair being required, so we don't know the timeline on when it will be back on the road. So if you're having questions, that's where we're at right now. But it is covered under warranty as far as we know.
That's the good news. Okay, Councillor Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor Barkley. I'd just like to add, while the Pace Bus is down, we'll be using the Legion van. However, it has some restrictions. There will be no wheelchairs, walkers, or scooters that we can put on that van, strictly walk-ons. So we'll supplement where we can from the Legion with that van. So I just want to let everybody know.
Thank you, Councillor Harrison. Also, thank you to the Legion as well with the letter for the service giving the 6 months. It's very appreciative of the Legion to do that, and kind of gives everybody some time to work this out. So
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll have Councillor Heistad.
I just want to, can I add one more thing? Or am I allowed to, Your Worship? No?
Should we take a vote? Okay.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
No, actually, I was going to, just because I was watching Director Jenkins, I was going to say those outdoor lights look awesome at night in our community. And I want to thank, the twinkle lights look wicked. And I did want to recognize, and I meant to do it about a month and a half ago, Director Jenkins for the work in that alleyway beside New and Used. So I apologize for that. I should have said that 2 months ago, probably. At least. Thanks.
It's okay. All right, we'll go into open mic session. Is there anybody online, Kara? What do you mean? People can listen, but they can't speak?
Correct, Mayor Barkley.
Did I
We
know
don't have
that?
that. We're not using Zoom. We've advanced our technology for, it's different. I can't explain the system, but we're not using Zoom. So, yeah, or people can come if they have a voice they want to represent.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I thought they could still. Okay. Okay, anybody else have anything to say, directors? No? Okay, then we'll go into upcoming events. We're looking forward to this week. Should be lots of fun. Just have somebody make a motion, please, to accept the upcoming events as information.
Mayor Barkley also move.
Thank you, Councillor Dunham. All in favor? Then we will have a motion to go in camera, please.
I'll make that motion to go in camera.
Thank you, Councillor Heistad. All in favor? And then a motion to adjourn, please.
I move that we adjourn.
That was stinky.